guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bloom update for the month of March, and I have so many beautiful blooms this month. I was surprised with so many pretty ones like this one. This one bloomed for me for the very first time last year, and I've had it since it was a little seedling. I got it from my friend Ray, and every time it blooms, I just smile. But repotting is coming up soon. I repotted it last year, but this one's really vigorous, and I think I'm gonna give him a piece since he gave this to me, and this one is so pretty. I'm trying to track it down so I could register it, so I'm in touch with the nursery that it's from, and we're trying to see if I can register it, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. Otherwise, I'm finding random buds throughout the collection, which is nice, and I'm starting to see that I'm gonna have to start repotting very, very soon. So I'm gonna get to that in a couple of weeks. Hopefully, we'll see. But it won't be as bad as last year. I did a lot last year. I repotted almost everything. But anything that I didn't repot last year, I need to do this year. And anything vigorous like this orchid right here, I need to take care of. For anyone interested in joining the membership, the details are down below, especially those of you that are struggling growing orchids indoors. I have 2 tiers of membership, one of which includes care guides. And the care guide for this month is a spring orchid care and the changes that we need to make this month. Along those lines, I've been making videos on different species and different people that have shaped modern orchid growing. Let me know your feedback down below. I want to definitely mix it up a little bit, add new content, but also give you guys the care guides and information to grow indoors that you guys are used to as well. So let me know your thoughts down below. Would love your feedback. Anyway, let me show you what's going on in the collection and we'll get right into it. My grow shelves are a little bit disorganized right now, but I'm going to organize everything once I start flushing the collection next week. But I wanted to show you everything, go down shelf by shelf and show you the chaos of what is the state of my blooms right now. So this Oncidium has such a long spike. It really doesn't fit on any shelves. So I just have it hanging out. This is my Phalaenopsis tetraspis C1. This one blooms every spring and then kind of lasts through the fall. And we have some keikis coming out, so I'm going to start potting them up very soon as well. Brassivola nodosa is blooming. It always blooms. It's so nice. And then we have Cattleyas Hamana Egret here. And lots of Cattleyas are starting to bud. This is my LC Trick or Treat Mas Naranja. This one always gives me lots of flowers. That's a nice one. My Hoyas are kind of dormant at the moment, but they're going to start pushing out a big growth spurt very soon. That is Phalaenopsis Apricot Glow. Also has a lot of keikis, so I'm going to get to potting them up. Dendrobium New Hope Mini is about to fade, and then I have the Jewel Orchid in the back, which is blooming. I don't really like those flowers that much. My Loose Neary is blooming, but that was an import that never really did well, but it's just surviving, not thriving, but I'll take blooms any day. And here's Zoe. Zoe is always here, ready to eat some of my orchids. So you guys have seen the barrier that I set up. And this is that hybrid that I really enjoyed, but I moved a lot of the orchids in clay pots to this one shelf so that I could water them a little more often. This is Labiata by Richard Mueller. This one blooms so often. And then this one is Rustic Spots, which is another Richard Mueller hybrid. They bloom 5-6 times a year. It's amazing. And here's my little makeshift fence for Zoe not to eat my orchids. She will eat everything otherwise. So the bottom shelves are pretty much covered. Don't mind the spent blooms, but this cat is very destructive. Let me show you the blooms. This is my favorite. It was my favorite last year, and it's still my favorite for 2026. This is a cross between the Cattleyas intermedia blue and the Cattleyas Pradit Spot. And it's just so, so pretty. That Pradit Spot has a Clandia in it, hence the beautiful pink spots. And it was crossed with a Cerulean. So these cheetah print orchids are so nice. That lip is so lovely. And the thing is with this one is As it fades, it kind of lightens in the back, so the pink gets brighter and the background gets lighter as well. Very pretty. The fragrance is a very strong Cattleya fragrance. And this one is quite vigorous. I repotted it last year and it's outgrowing the pot, so I'll need to repot it again. But I just find this so nice. Fragrance, beauty, vigor. Can't go wrong with this one. The next orchid you guys have seen many times, but what I want to do is show you the color progression on this Richard Mueller. It starts out very pink and then it kind of fades to this white with pink undertones. So the very first day, I would say it's almost very bright pink. And then this is the orchid 2 weeks later. It turns into a white. It didn't have any fragrance for a long time. And then it recently developed this like suntan lotion subtle fragrance, which has been interesting. But I really enjoy these Richard Muellers. The next orchid in bloom is the Oncidium Golden Afternoon Rich Yellow. And this was one of my first Oncidiums. So my mom gifted this to me. Wow. Maybe in 2014, 2015. So I've had this for a long time. It only blooms once a year though, and it has a very, very long spike. It has a very subtle fragrance as well, but it's got very beautiful flowers. The color changes as well. It starts like a yellow color when it first opens, and then the little skirt on the flower, it changes to a white color as well. I find it very beautiful. This one is very vigorous. It's very bulletproof. It survived my experimentation phases with these orchids, so it's a vigorous one. Next is another vigorous orchid. This is BC Rustic Spots, which is another Richard Mueller cross. And the Landate also has some Eclandier in it, hence a lot of the spotting there. I believe it has Schilleriana as well. And this is one of those orchids that just blooms 5, 6 times a year. And I know that not all growers like hybrids, but in my opinion, I'm not a species snob. I just like growing things that bloom, and especially if they're vigorous and fragrant. If I could get blooms many times a year, it's really worth it to me. So I always mix species that I want to try with things like this, like the Richard Mueller hybrids that are very pretty because they just bloom so much and they reward you often for taking good care of them. So I never shy away from these orchids. Next up, we have the Cattleya Hamana Egret. I mentioned this in my Valkyriana video. This is so nice. It's really the fragrance that really does it for me. So the fragrance on this one smells like rose petals and cinnamon mixed together. It's so strong and it's so nice. You could see that the leaves on this one are a little bit wrinkled, and that's my bad for not properly watering it. It's in a 6-inch pot, but it's so vigorous. It has so many roots in there. I haven't been able to keep up with it. So I gave it a good soak and those leaves plumped right back up. But this is one of those orchids that I need to divide very soon. I appreciate the tight growth habit on it, and it blooms for like 6 weeks in a row, which is very unusual. And I hear that the Cattleya dubiosa is a big part of that. You can see we have some more buds coming in, which is really exciting. Next up, we have a very common Phal. This is Jiaho's Pink Girl, which is a cross with the Schilleriana and the Phalaenopsis zumas pixie. And this is a nice one. It smells good for a little mini Phal. It has a very subtle floral fragrance. And the size is good. It blooms 2 times a year, and I find the flowers very, very pretty. I got this at Hauserman Orchids maybe about 5 years ago, and this is an enjoyable and easy one to grow. It gives double spikes, which is nice, and it's not too hard. You just have to make sure that you keep them hydrated, I find, and they do just fine. I love having these little Phals in my collection because they're reliable bloomers and the blooms last a very, very long time. A couple of months compared to
some Cattleyas that only last like 3 weeks, you know, so it's nice to have this variety of blooms. This is another one of my favorite, more common Phals, and it shares a parent with that Jiaho's Pink Girl, and this is Sogo Vivien Leaf's Edge. And again, this gives lots of blooms. It gives double spikes. The blooms last, my gosh, 2, 3 months, depending on the humidity, how dry it is, how often you can keep them hydrated. But I find it so, so pretty. And the best part is that it blooms twice a year. So, unlike some of the really big Phals, these little mini Phals, they come in so clutch when you have nothing blooming and it's kind of like dreary. They bloom in the winter, they bloom again in the summer. This one is growing a big stem, so at some point I need to cut it. A lot of times with time, the stem dries off and crumbles. So when I repot it, I'll be sure to address that with you guys.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know which orchid was your favorite. This one is mine for the month. I just find it so, so, so pretty, and I just can't get over it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as I did. I hope to be able to register it very soon, give it a name, and hopefully there will be more available of this one. It's just so pretty. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye, everyone.